Number 12. Leonora R. A woman known only as Leonora R. checked her husband's phone and was shocked to see nude pictures of a younger woman. Blinded by jealousy, she decided to take revenge on her spouse without stopping to take a better look at the photos. It turned out that she'd been looking at her younger self. The Mexican wife stabbed her husband repeatedly, sending him to the ER. Fortunately, he was only wounded by her attack. Only the man's first name, Juan, was released to the press. Juan talked with the authorities and explained the pictures featured none other than Leonora. The couple had taken them years back while they were dating. Though Juan was badly injured by Leonora's attack, he was expected to make a full recovery. Number 11. Pilawan Kimapan. When Pilawan Kimapan received the news she was dying from cancer, she decided it was time to kill her husband. Kimapan couldn't deal with the idea her partner would find a new wife after she was gone. Neighbors described him as being popular and handsome, a working councilman in their village. Her jealousy was so strong that she picked up a .38 pistol the instant she got back home. The 38-year-old Indian woman shot her spouse before turning the gun on herself. Police officers arrived after being contacted by concerned witnesses. Kimapan was found dead on the floor by her husband's side. While he was badly injured with a bullet wound to his forehead, the man was still breathing. He was taken to the hospital and put on life support. Number 10. Australian wife. An unnamed 58-year-old woman was arrested after she attacked her husband and his younger lover. The Australian man was caught by his wife red-handed. The irate woman rammed his car, driving him off the road. The incident occurred in New South Wales and was captured by a dashboard camera. The older woman wasn't satisfied with wrecking her husband's property. After she was done, she drove back to the surf club where her spouse's lover had parked her car. She crashed into it as well before being apprehended by the police. Fortunately, no one was injured, though the jilted woman confronted her partner when he stepped onto the street. Witnesses told police officers that she assaulted both the man and his 40-year-old mistress. Number 9. DELORES CURETON. New York resident DELORES CURETON went into a blind rage when she discovered her spouse was cheating on her. In 2015, the 61-year-old woman smashed a hammer against her partner's Lincoln Town car, destroying all its windows as well as the taillights. The police arrived at the scene, alerted by neighbors, who claimed the older woman was holding a pistol. John Cureton, Dolores' significant other, was hiding in the couple's house, concerned about his well-being. He told the police that his wife had arrived home, gotten into his vehicle, and opened the glove box, where he hid his gun. Dolores admitted this was true, but denied attempting to fire it at herself or her husband. John Cureton refused to press charges, but Dolores was still charged with criminal domestic violence. Number 8. KAYLA Jean Giles. In September of 2018, a Louisiana woman was arrested and charged with second-degree murder after shooting her estranged husband in a Walmart parking lot. 31-year-old KAYLA Jean Giles had arranged to meet with Thomas Couty Jr., aged 30, so that the latter could pick up his stepdaughters. They were supposed to attend a birthday party for the couple's biological daughter, who was turning 2 on that day. Giles and Couty were going through a divorce, and in late August, the man had motioned for sole custody of the child, alleging that his spouse had been abusive towards him in the past. After they met in the parking lot, Giles fired a single round into his chest from 2 feet away. The couple's toddler and her 2 stepsisters looked on from a vehicle, but were unharmed in the shooting. Couty collapsed and, in spite of attempts made by first responders to revive him, was pronounced dead at the scene. Giles was arrested, and during the ensuing trial, her defense argued that the stand your ground law should apply to her, claiming that Couty had tried to force his way into the vehicle. The trial is ongoing, and Giles' sentence remains to be determined. Number 7. Chilean woman. While driving her BMW, a Chilean woman discovered her husband picking up his lover in his car. Enraged, she decided to follow them. When her spouse finally parked and stepped out along with his companion, the woman accelerated, crashing against the empty vehicle. Several people had attempted to stop her, with a man even going as far as trying to open her door. The jilted woman ignored them and, after destroying her husband's property, drove off. Her car was so badly damaged that she could barely see the road ahead. The hood had flipped up, covering most of her windshield. Videos of the incident were uploaded online, but the woman remained at large. No further information has been released to the press as of the recording of this video. Number 6. Chelsea Watrous Cook. Utah health teacher Chelsea Watrous Cook was arrested in November of 2018 for fatally shooting her ex-husband's girlfriend. 32-year-old Cook had gone to the Salt Lake City apartment of her ex, Travis, to drop off cold medicine for one of their toddler twins. Travis, along with his girlfriend, 26-year-old Lisa Villate Williams, and the children were making Christmas ornaments at the time. As he waited outside, Cook snuck into the apartment and locked herself in the bathroom. After the man called the police, Cook opened the door and reached into her coat pocket. She pulled out a gun and, in front of her children, fired at Williams several times. The woman died after being struck in the chest, hip, and back. Travis wrestled the weapon out of his ex-wife's hands, after which she sat down next to the twins. Cook reportedly moved towards her coat again, while Travis was on the phone with 911, but he pinned her to the wall until the police arrived. In the past, Williams had been harassed by Cook, who'd showed up at her workplace and written her a threatening letter. Nevertheless, Williams was determined to make peace with the woman, who'd ultimately become her killer. For her crime, Cook was sentenced to 34 years to life in prison. Number 5. JANEEN PUGH. JANEEN PUGH was furious at her husband when he received a text message. The 48-year-old woman was convinced he was chatting with an unknown lover. Even though he offered to show her the phone, she decided to teach him a lesson. Pugh went into the kitchen and grabbed a 7-inch knife. She proceeded to chase him around the house, and the man ran outside. When the Wales resident made a run to a neighbor's door begging for help, Pugh managed to slash him several times. She kept accusing him of being a liar. Her husband was badly injured but was expected to recover. Authorities arrived soon after and had to drag Pugh away. She was sentenced to 25 months for her attack. Number 4. Janette Higginson. 57-year-old Janette Higginson was in the middle of a bitter feud with her soon-to-be ex-husband. They'd been married for 27 years, and she was angry when he filed for divorce, claiming severe drinking problems had ruined their relationship. By November of 2020, Higginson had already harassed her sister-in-law so badly that a restraining order was in place. She decided to take revenge on her estranged husband by setting their £400,000 family house on fire. Higginson called the firefighters and nonchalantly told them what was going on, saying, "It's burning. It's up to you." She had used a lighter and furniture polish to torch the place down. Higginson resorted to the drastic course of action after she'd become furious that her husband had sent her a notification stating he intended to sell the house. She was taken to the hospital where doctors treated her burnt hands. Since no one else was injured in the fire, Higginson was only charged with arson and violating a restraining order. She was subsequently sentenced to 34 months in jail. Number 3. ILHAM KAHYANI. ILHAM KAHYANI was so certain that her husband, Dedi Poonama, was cheating on her that she demanded he give her his phone's passcode. She wanted to make sure he wasn't chatting with another woman, but Poonama immediately refused. The couple, who lived in West Nusa Tenggara, Indonesia at the time, began to argue. It didn't take long for KAHYANI to lose her temper, and the situation quickly escalated. After Poonama slapped her, she poured petrol over her husband and set him on fire with a lighter. A witness rushed to help, attempting to put the flames out. Poonama suffered from serious upper body burns and was already in critical condition by the time neighbors called the police. The injured man was rushed to the hospital and died from his wounds 2 days after the attack. KAHYANI was arrested at the scene and an investigation was launched. Number 2. Evgenia Davydkin. When Slava Davydkin criticized his wife's cooking, 31-year-old Evgenia decided she had had enough. He accused her food of being bland and told her that she'd use more salt if she loved him. The Russian couple had invited several guests to dinner when he blurted out the seemingly unforgiving insult. Evgenia waited for her husband and guests to fall asleep. Before grabbing an angling knife, she proceeded to stab him 35 times in front of their young child. After murdering her spouse, she woke up one of their visitors, who was sleeping in a nearby room, and asked him to call an ambulance. Though she was arrested soon after, Evgenia was eventually put under house arrest so that she could take care of her daughter. Today's topic was requested by Jay Richardson. If you have any other topics you'd like to learn about, subscribe and let us know in the comments section below. Number 1. Wu Shu-chun. Wu Shu-chun was asked by his wife to buy chicken legs for dinner. However, the East China resident forgot about her request and returned home empty-handed. The woman, whose maiden name was reported as Lu, was furious. The incident occurred on April the 13th of 2019, and neighbors reported hearing the couple arguing violently in their apartment. Lu was said to have developed a foul temper after marrying Shu-chun. His relatives claimed she'd hit him often, but he never struck her back. That day, Lu grabbed a fruit knife and stabbed him repeatedly. The couple's daughter witnessed the attack. Her screams alerted the victim's mother, who was in the bathroom at the time. First responders arrived soon after, discovering Shu-chun lying in a pool of blood. He was rushed to the hospital, but was declared dead on arrival. Thanks for watching. Would you rather have a crazy killer wife or always feel the need to pee without actually being able to go? Let us know in the comments section below.